Okay, exits, emergency exits are on either side of the gym. And I have a motion to review and approve the board agenda.
We have a motion.
Second? All in favor? 5-0. Motion to approve the minutes of November 2nd, December 5th, and December 13th.
So moved.
Second? Barbara? All in favor? 5-0. You're up.
Thank you, Susan. We begin tonight with reports from our principals. Ms. Connolly, you want to start us off?
Oh, yeah. Good evening. During the past 2 weeks at the elementary school, and actually most of this last month, the major focus has been devoted to preparing the students to perform for this upcoming winter concert, which we're proud, and it's quite a showcase for the community. The team of special teachers has really outdone themselves and bonded over the event. They've worked very collaboratively to plan practice schedules and assist Mrs. Kroll with the student supervision and support. All of the students have contributed to our decorations for this year while developing their fine motor skills. They've been painting, cutting, pasting, gluing, and made the giant snowflakes that you see, the hand-print Christmas trees, the menorahs, the Christmas tree centerpieces by the front door, the Rudolph cutouts you see displayed in the bulletin board right outside the gym. So the students have been working to prepare the beauty that you see around you. And we also had donations from the Greenwood Lake Garden Center. Stacey Condon, we thank her very much for contributing all the greenery we see as well. In addition, as a community service project, the specials teachers decided to tie this winter concert event with a food drive for the local food pantry, as the holiday season is typically a really difficult time to keep food and supplies stocked on the shelves. Students created most of the signs and did the awareness drive. They created signs throughout the school, and even some that were written in Spanish using the vocabulary they learned from Mrs. Bianco's class. To date, we have 325 items collected. Our drive concludes tomorrow at the concert, and we expect that a lot of parents will also be bringing more, and that will all be delivered on Friday to our food pantry to get ready for the upcoming holidays as well. While we're on the topic of winter, we are looking to streamline our elementary dismissal procedures so that parents are not waiting outside in the cold too long when they're coming to pick up their walkers. Ideas were generated from parent coffee chats and from our staff, and we plan to implement these changes on our return from the winter break. And that will include eliminating the sign-out table at the security desk and implementing a visual check and parent initially process, grade level lines here in the gymnasium, and parents are going to be notified to start these new procedures via email and letters home. We anticipate that the lines will be much shorter and the parents will be much happier. Another change we're currently investigating is the offering of an open library for students who prefer reading and makerspace activities during the recess block. This is currently offered in middle school, and we have students who have expressed a preference for the recess and interest in these activities as well. And lastly, on November 13th, we held our first Explorations Day. 9 courses were offered for each grade level in bands K1 and 2-3. And students contributed topics of interest in each of their homerooms. And then the exploration teacher leaders collated these lists for staff to review and consider as course topics. Students were highly engaged when delving into the content offered, which included science experiments, creating animated movies using stop motion, no bake baking, birdhouse designing, cracker code challenges, and artistic expression via canvas, painting, collaborative murals, and sculpting, just to name a few. We will continue to explore how incorporating student-driven topics of interest into learning enhances student engagement levels, and we are working to develop this practice into our classroom instruction. And that's what we've been busy with this month. And happy holidays to all.
Thank you.
Good evening. So you just heard our middle school jazz band. Our concert last night was phenomenal. So I want to thank Laura Kroll and Lee Compton again for all of their work, and I must thank all of you for your support of our before school jazz band, the band that performs before school as a club, and also our select chorus, because it allowed them to sound even better than they would have just in their day-to-day rehearsals, as well as their rehearsals during lessons that they had us pull out during the day. So thank you so much for your support in that, and you saw the benefits of that this evening as well. We have our second explorations tomorrow, so we are very excited about the 40 explorations that will be going on in the middle school. One of the changes that we've made this time around is about a quarter of the explorations are over 3 sessions that we're having, so they're not just one time. The students are continuing across a journey, so tomorrow will be the second of that journey. So we're very excited to see how that continues and grows. And then the last, I just wanted to update you, because I didn't get a chance to in November, we had, on December 5th, we had ADAC come. That is our regional drug and alcohol prevention awareness in Orange County, and we designed with them a program to support anti-vaping, because that is something that is directly affecting just students around the country. And they were awesome. For sitting in all 3 sessions with our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I was able to glean something different each time, even from the same presentation. So that is something that, as we move forward through conversations with students, we'll continue to have that going. So thank you as well for all of your support, and also happy holidays too.
Thank you, Mr. Blucher.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a number of topics tonight to be discussed and reviewed by the board with some recommendations. I'd like to start with a review of the retrofit fire lock doors. As everyone knows, the board and the community have been looking for ways to provide additional security for the school buildings, while at the same time enabling the community to use the buildings and make the buildings work more efficiently for cleaning and staff safety. And one of the elements So over the last several months, the Facilities Committee has discussed ways to address access issues, to provide new security, and to alleviate the cumbersome nature of the work cleaning the building. The Facilities Committee reviewed these needs, and because the locks on the smoke doors malfunction and are sometimes inoperable, we considered replacing them. These doors cannot be adequately repaired quickly, which causes a potential dangerous condition in the event of a fire or other emergency, making it impossible to restrict public access to designated areas. So after much discussion, it was decided that the district should replace the locks on 7 smoke doors. It's a little bit difficult to see. This does not have the...
Yes.
Can you folks see the green dots? All right. So one door, second door, third door, fourth door, fifth door, sixth door, and the seventh door. So the proposal is to replace the locks on these 7 doors. In this kind of financial investment. To replace the 5 doors, we would have several different vendors work on the project, and the total quote is $53,045 to do the lots on these 7 doors. The money, we have a repair reserve, and Ann has been working on that, and that is the source that this money would be drawn from, so it doesn't involve any change in or increase in taxation. We have the available resources to do this. And this is a resolution that we would be asking the board to pass tonight if you approve of the idea of fixing the 7 lots. I just want to also mention that the Facilities Committee also looked at 4 doors that lead out onto the patio from the 4th and 5th grade wing, and there was consideration of replacing locks on these doors, but the board thought to put that off, discussion of that, and to focus on the 7 interior smoke doors. So that's what's being discussed, not these doors. So the question is, does the board want to move ahead with this recommendation to replace the locks on these doors?
Yeah, motion's on our agenda. Yeah.
Okay, so we will move ahead with that project. Thank you.
For anybody that isn't aware, these are key card locks so that staff can enter and exit, and then if there was an emergency, law enforcement would be able to go through these doors also. So it allows everything to stay secure.
Right now, it's a cumbersome key system, and they get stuck, and you have to turn them a certain way. And you have to be a custodian to go to the outside of the building. You have to open up 7 doors to get there. It takes forever, so you're saving up money and cleaning to pay for the locks eventually.
Yes, it's very difficult to open the doors, and currently the custodians are doing it every evening. It's a lot.
The board also asked in passing how our new security arrangements are working. So we put together a couple of slides, information to anyone who's interested. We basically list all of the activities and whether there will be armed police or Bryguard guards, or where there's no need for armed or unarmed adults. That activity and field trips is the principal example where we don't need additional guard support. So we wanted to put this up so it would be on the website and for board members to see, so they can get an idea of the large number of activities and the different kinds of staffing that we presently have. So I don't know if folks had a chance to look at these particular figures or have any questions about the specifics. It's a pretty thorough program, and there are an awful lot of events that we cover. I think, considering that it's our first time out with the program, I think we're doing very well, actually. The Greenwood Lake Police and the Warwick Police have been extremely cooperative. Brygger's employees are working with them very well. The police are doing rounds at each school, and everything I've heard and seen is that the program is working just as you wanted it to work. This is the cost to date of the program, and this is well within the money that was allocated in the budget for security.
Let's start with the school year.
Yes.
So if this were to be proportionate, we are doing very well in relation to the allocated money in the budget.
I'm assuming Warwick is much higher because we have a lot more after-school programs and games and everything.
Well, the billing dates are different.
They're different game ranges.
They're 19 days later also, but I would imagine the after-school
Dates are approximate.
activities impact it.
So they're not comparable.
Yeah,
But it's a lot more going on.
And the community events haven't started yet.
okay.
Great. Thank you. So we're going to move ahead with the 7 lots.
Yes. Thank you for putting that together. Very informative.
As you're aware, the Facilities Committee has also been doing a lot of work on capital projects, and the board asked for a review of everything that's been going on and what plans are for the immediate future and perhaps further down the line. Sarah is going to do a review of the capital projects.
I'm going to speak to you this evening about a capital project and where we are. We had the original vote in 2016. It was changed from our old high school fund, and then it became our district-wide building facilities improvement fund. And when it was approved for $5 million. Approximately $4.5 million went to district-wide renovations at both schools. It was for security upgrades, main offices at both buildings, classroom renovation as well, and then probably the waste space, and also the potentially moving the business office due to deliveries coming into the business office in the middle school. So security and then office upgrades.
And the building commission.
And also the building condition survey, yes, thank you. The other $500,000 approximately was to replace school buses according to our school bus replacement schedule. So that was approved. Part 1 allowed us to immediately work on the field refurbishment at the middle school, as well as work on the gym floor at the middle school. The gym floor was originally scheduled to be fully replaced. Once they got in there and they had looked at the boards, they actually found that they did not need to replace the entire gym floor. So that allowed us to save some money, and you'll see that of the original budget for about $860,000, approximately $372,000 is still available because we did not need to fully replace the gym floor for the middle school. We did use some of that money to additionally renovate the cafeteria in the middle school, and you'll see a picture of that in a minute. So at the middle school, we did get a new logo in the middle of the gym floor, and we finished that. We also got a new scoreboard. The field, if you'll remember our old field, we had that kind of box thing sticking up in the middle of the field. That was fixed. It's now no longer visible or affecting the field of play. And then we were able to renovate the old wood paneling in the cafeteria auditorium area and go to the sheetrock paint area and install some TVs. So just some nice upgrades all around. So that is completed, and that was what we consider phase 1. In addition to phase 1, we purchased some of our buses, and we also have another set of buses coming up that we will be purchasing in 1819. So phase 2 is the building condition surveys. That's things like replacing toilets, working on sealing the outside wall at the middle school, urinal flushes, all the items that were identified in the 2010 building condition survey. That stuff has not been started yet. It is currently up at state ed, and we are expecting it back, so the money is still encumbered and in reserves for that part of the project, but it has not been started yet. And then phase 3 is where the facilities committee really has done a lot of work in the past year and a half. They have worked on, it was the design that was approved really going to work for us long term. And so we have worked with the architects, they have looked at the designs, talked about what the long-term goals are of the district. And I believe that the committee is ready to move forward with certain parts of phase 3, but not necessarily all parts of phase 3. So do you want to share what the committee has decided to move forward and propose to the board?
Facilities Committee met all through last year, 17-18 year, and we've also been meeting in the 18-19 year. We've been reviewing all of the architectural plans for Phase 3. We've also took a pause and started to look at what will be good for the district in the future, and we've re-looked at some of the plans that were originally designed. We've recommended moving forward with the elementary school office, the security vestibule, and the classroom that needs to be created from finishing the office renovations, and also the middle school office and security vestibule. We have put on hold the business office and the PL2W renovation because we are looking at instructional space and how to possibly improve the program along the way of making the other changes. So that's on hold, and we're going to continue to look through those and make sure that the goal is that we move forward with good choices that make the best use of our space.
Does the rest of the board have any comments or thoughts on that work and moving forward with that aspect of the project and submitting it to SCD?
I think some of the work down here was put on hold and put off actually, because we had Tectonic come in here and test outside of this building, the water infiltration. And the water table is so high here, any digging here will put in jeopardy and add more water to our problems now getting rid of the water. That's why we had to cut back on some of these ideas and reconsider alternatives at this point.
Absolutely. And what Mr. Finn is referring to is the fact that in addition to that improvement to use the reserves for renovations and the building condition survey and the buses, we also, at that same vote, were approved by the voters to bond a certain amount of money in order to improve the cafeteria in the elementary school basement. And so as Mr. Finn said, we all know, I think, that we have some water issues down here, and the Facilities Committee is very hesitant to move forward anywhere where we need to dig underground. So we are revisiting the cafeteria specifically. We are going to look at working with a new architecture firm, I believe, an engineering firm, to redesign the current space as opposed to digging down into the ground and potentially moving the water table again. Is that?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. The tectonic survey that John referenced gave us an underground, basically, picture of what's going on under the ground here, and the water table is extremely high, and we would not want to pursue digging foundations if there would be a water issue.
Okay, so in summary, of the original $5 million that was approved, we still have approximately $2 million to spend. That would be on the Phase 3, so that's the office and the security vestibules. And then we still have $92,000 for the bus purchases. And then we still also have the $2 million to bond up for the cafeteria renovation. So it's two very separate projects that we tend to talk about together a lot. They're two very separate projects in terms of funding and the planning stage.
I'd just like to make a comment. When we speak of offices, it encompasses the nurses' offices, the psychologists, the guidance counselors. It's making things flow better and upgrading the nurses' offices also.
And by fixing the offices, it will also improve the instructional spaces. That's the true hope here, is that we create a better flow for those offices, but then also have spaces for instructional programs. Any discussion from the board? Are you okay moving forward with the aspects we discussed?
Thanks, Sarah. At a previous board meeting, a resident raised the possibility of adding some ADA ramps at the middle school, and the board asked us to look into how we might do that and what the costs would be. And I think Anna has a presentation on the ADA ramps, and she will give us the details on the costs and what the board might want to approve.
to review and potentially add ADA ramps at the middle school campus. So we looked at 4 access spots. And it's very hard to see. So the first spot is down in the lower parking lot. No, I'm sorry. The first spot is up at the upper parking lot at the lower end of the screen. It would be to create a ramp on the sidewalk going over the creek and drop-off, student drop-off spot where the student drop-off spot is currently, but it would pave that and create 2 parking spaces there. And then it would also upgrade on the other side of the creek, the crosswalk there to put in our curbs for wheelchairs. And then the second spot would be to add a curb at the bus circle at the entrance of the middle school. The third area would be a crosswalk down by where the handicap parking currently is in the lower parking lot, and then to add some additional crosswalk striping to where the after-school activity entrance is. The cost to do this construction is expected to be about $54,000, and that's for all 4 sites. Oh, I'm sorry. 45,000. Thank you. With the ADA over the crosswalk being the most expensive aspect of the project. The project would take about 11 weeks for the engineer to draw up the specifications, to go out to bid, to gain contracts, to have the contractors send back appropriate material lists to the engineer, and it's all weather dependent. So if the board would like to proceed with this, we have a resolution prepared.
Except one question. Back in the diagram, so during this, did you find out if we're in compliance with how far the handicap spaces are? We asked them that question?
We did ask that question, and we are in compliance currently. This is just to enhance the experience for anyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
So there is another resolution that you would be acting on tonight to make it possible for us to move ahead with this project. Okay. The board also asked us to look into some elements of bus safety. And as we did that, there were a couple of other issues that popped up that we wanted to gather some information about, including minimum wage and substitute pay. You folks asked us for some information about how many kids are attending clubs at the elementary and middle schools. We have that. We have an update on the appeal to the commissioner regarding the Section 9 athletic decision and our teams. We have some comments about cap and gown, as well as some information about high school choice decisions that 8th graders have just made.
So I had to put this into movie form. We had a little blip with the computers. See? And so I had to put it in movie form so that you could have the full effects of all the pieces lining up, so you see the right things in the right order. So just pardon me for standing over here to the side a little bit, and if it goes a little too fast. So the board asked us, in light of some of the recent bus events across the nation and the increased media attention to bus safety and student safety getting on and off the buses, to review our protocols as well as the local municipality protocols for issuing tickets and making sure that our students are safe. So the very first thing that we did is we spoke with our bus drivers and we asked them to identify for us some areas or hotspots where there were people breaking the law, passing school buses, etc. We then reported those locations to our local PD, to Warwick and to Greenwood Lake, asking them to increase their presence in those areas, and they complied and did so. To our knowledge, however, no tickets have been issued. I'm assuming that the increased presence kind of deterred the negative behavior. We also, if something very specific happens that is a danger to our students, our bus drivers report it back to dispatch through the radio. Dispatch calls the local police immediately, and the police do send somebody out to monitor and find that person, and possibly find them at home or wherever they went to. And then additionally, we can write down the license plate, make and model of the car, and we can submit a report to DMV, which we do. So in conjunction with that, we reached out to our local PDs and we asked them about if we were to have video cameras, would you be able to issue tickets? And the general answer at the state level is that police officers are required to witness a violation. So the only exception to that is if someone is in a car accident and the police have the ability to do a full investigation, then they can issue a ticket based on that. And then if the local town or village has it in their municipal code to allow for video to be serve as the only evidence, then that is also allowed. So when we spoke to Greenwood Lake, they do not currently have it in the municipal code. But they did say that if something happens, they'd be willing to contact the owner to discuss safety. And then Chief Hansen offered to advocate to initiate code to permit the use of video to issue a ticket. So we are going to discuss in a few minutes if that's something you would like to potentially move forward and do. The Warwick PD said they would be willing to give a ticket to a driver. But that our bus driver would need to appear in court and give a deposition to the judge regarding what happened, and that we could submit the video to the court as further evidence in addition to what the bus driver said happened. So then that raises the question, how do we want to handle this moving forward? So one, with Warwick, they said yes, they would, but our bus drivers would need to go to court. So some of the potential implications of that would be the bus drivers would need to go to court. So if it was during the school day, the bus driver would have to go to court. We'd have to find a substitute bus driver to cover their route that day. If it was in the evening, we would have to probably pay the bus driver to go to the court session. And that's all if they're willing to go and to be a witness in the court. Additionally, another option we have is to purchase a few cameras and do a trial basis to see about the quality of the images, what we can capture exactly, share it with the PD, and kind of work through that process together. And then the third option as well is to reach out. I'd be more than happy to reach out to our local heads to discuss getting video evidence into the local code so that we didn't have to go through the process. So my recommendation this evening would be to move forward with options 2 and 3 here. I think asking our bus drivers to be a witness in court might be a little, asking a little too much from them. So I do recommend getting 2 bus cameras, one for our Green Lake bus, a Green Lake bus, and one for a Warwick bus, to do it as a trial, research, try a different one. And then I also would recommend that I reach out to Jesse and to the town supervisor of Warwick to see if they'd be willing to do that. So I'm asking for you this evening to let me know what aspects you would like to consider with this topic, or how would you like me to proceed?
What is the cost of a camera?
I have no idea. I have not researched it yet because I had not gotten the directive to action before.
I mean, I think we should move
I
ahead
think we
with
should too.
I would imagine,
trial of the camera.
I would imagine under 2,000.
If anybody follows Facebook, you know, there are a bunch of idiots out there, and our kids are in danger, period. It's amazing what they do. I saw 2 at the light today. At the light at the corner of Jersey Avenue, it turned red and 3 people went to the light.
Okay, so you want me to pursue purchasing 2 cameras? Okay, that probably will not require a transfer, but if it does, we will come back to you for that transfer item. To move forward with that. As well, would you like me to reach out to our supervisors to try to get it written into local code so that if we do already
Yes,
have to?
absolutely.
Yes.
Ties our hands otherwise.
Okay. I can do both of those things.
I don't think the bus drivers would want to go in court. Not so much the issue of us paying for them to go, because, you know, they
Could be their neighbor.
That's
Right.
that's a
See, I
right,
go.
right, that's what I'm saying.
I believe it.
It could make it a difficult thing if it's another person from the scene.
I mean, I know some of our bus drivers will be like, let's go. But
All right, our next topic on the agenda is the minimum wage increase that's coming up January 1st and the resulting effect on our substitute pay. So on the chart, you have a hard copy in front of you as well. You will see that in 2019, the New York State minimum wage will be $11.10. Sorry?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, $11.10. So traditionally, here in Greenwood Lake, in order to entice people to come work for us as substitute in our building, we have maintained an average of about 9 to 10% above the minimum wage, trying to get people to come here. So you'll see the New York State minimum wage on the middle line there, and then our substitute SRP rate below that. So maintaining that 9% would bring us to $12.10 per hour, which would amount to $84.70 for a full day of school, which is up to 7 hours. Which is fine, but what happens is our established rate of pay for substitutes, for non-certified substitutes, if you look in the yellow column at the very bottom, our daily rate of pay is only $80. So what that means is people that are coming in to substitute for as a teaching assistant or a recess aide would actually be making more than the substitutes coming in to substitute for an actual teacher.
What do we need to raise that for substitute teachers?
So the rate of pay, in order to be equal, I would say would be $90 to make it exceed. That would exceed the $84. That would also make us even with Warwick. So we could go to a $90 daily rate of pay. We have heard through the grapevine that teachers tend to take Warwick jobs faster because they pay $10 more a day than we do. So that would put us even with Warwick. We could extend, that would last us for 1 year. If you look over to 2020, the daily rate is going to increase to $90.30. So another option that you have would be to go ahead and increase the rate of pay to $95 a day, which would then surpass Warwick, entice subs to come here, and we would not have to have this discussion for 2 more years in terms of raising it along with the rate of pay. So here again, and then the other thing that it then becomes a trickle effect is our substitute certified teachers currently make $100 a day. So if you start creeping up towards that number, you should pay a certified teacher more money daily than a non-certified teacher. So I open it to you for discussion on how you want to proceed with the rate of pay.
What's the certified rate and what is it?
100.
It's 100? So if we went up to 90, I mean, that gap is still okay. 95.
So they pay 90 non-certified and 100 certified?
Correct.
Okay.
Chester pays 75 non-certified and 100 certified.
I think the question is it 90 or 95 for the non-certified? If it is $90 a day, we have to come back and do this next December, because minimum wage goes up again. And then certified substitutes should also adjust, I would think. Anybody's feedback on that?
No, the 95, bump it up.
If we would move to a $95 for non-certified and then 110 for certified subs, that would put us ahead of the game of both of our partner districts and hopefully entice some subs.
That's what I'm thinking right now.
So if you ask all of our substitutes, we would put this on the January agenda.
Let's make it competitive, I like it.
It's $5. They gave me
You do have your days off.
So am I hearing 95 and 110? Yes,
Okay, we'll vote on that next month?
okay. And other stuff?
No.
Our next topic is club attendance. You asked us to monitor if students were attending the clubs that we put into place. So this is our first review back to you for the first 4 months of school. These are the clubs that you approved in the fall or in the spring, depending on when they were approved. The number of students enrolled in each club, and then the average attendance rate per session. So one of the things that you'll see in the fitness club, 54 kids signed up. Well, we obviously can't have 54 kids in a room at one time, so we split that into different groups. There's a third grade group of 15 kids, a second grade group of 12 kids. So that's why like 19 and 54 is not actually 54 at a time. We break them into smaller groups. But I think what this shows is that kids are definitely attending the clubs that we are having at the elementary school. The smallest one is the Pause to Read. That's the one led by Kathy Crozier. It is a half-year club only. And it's because she actually has dogs coming in to read with the students, for the students to read to and read with. So they love it, but it has to keep small so that each kid has a chance to interact and read to the dog. So that's why that one's made. So keeping in that same vein, we also have the middle school clubs running. Some of them have not started yet. For example, fishing will start later in the school year. And the film production and editing club that we had designed is not currently running. So that is a state club stipend, but keep that in your head for 1 minute until the next topic comes up. But other than that, you'll see that I believe we have pretty regular attendance in the clubs that we have offered. I believe you set the limit at between 8 and 10 students per club in order to run the club. The smallest, if you look at it, would be the all-county band and all-county chorus numbers. We don't have the chorus numbers yet, but all-county band numbers. The last time we spoke, you felt strongly that we should continue having that option despite the small numbers. But I did want to open it up to you to see if you had any thoughts. So in that vein, with we allocate a full stipend to the elementary school for Pause to Read, and we also allocate a full stipend to the middle school for the production. We do have a teacher here at the elementary school that's interested in doing the Girls on the Run program. The Girls on the Run program is for girls in grades 3 through 5. They practice and they run a 5K at the end of the program, and it helps them work on self-esteem as well throughout the program. The program is run through an outside organization called Girls on the Run, and so there is a fee associated when kids sign up for it. So both of our clubs, because we sponsor it, are completely free. This would be a cost. The family fee for one child is $175, but they do have a sliding scale where you would enter in your home salary, and then it would be reduced from there depending on what your income was. We've had some girls and some moms ask about this in the past, and we've had teachers ask about this. This would be something very different for us. So before we move forward and research it too much, I wanted to get a feel for you on whether you thought this would be a benefit or something to pursue for our district.
Warwick does this.
Warwick has it, Goshen has it,
Washingtonville has it.
most districts in Orange County have it. I don't know about Chester specifically. Monroe Woodbury has it.
And the fee is in all districts.
Yes.
How would the shift work?
I'm sorry?
How would the shift work? Is it a shift not?
Well, so what it is because I didn't want to bring any new clubs to you this year because we were very firm on the number of clubs that we were offering for the year. So we did save a full stipend at the middle school, and we saved a half a stipend with the pause rate. So it's already allocated club money that we would just reallocate to this stipend.
Have you ever, do other districts have to set up a club, or they just have to set up this organization?
There's usually a teacher staff member that runs it, and then there's also parent volunteers that help run it. For us, it is a third grade teacher looking to run it, so it'll be open to our third graders, obviously. We also potentially could open it up to our fourth and fifth graders. They could take the 305 bus down here and also participate. They would get here right at dismissal and come and participate.
I think it's good.
In the budget, why not?
Yeah.
Cover
Take
it.
a look, why not?
Maybe do some of those clubs.
It depends. A lot of people into it.
Okay, the other program that the board asked us to look into this year was a homework support program for our elementary students. We have the after-school time at our middle school. We did not have it for the elementary school. So you asked us to initiate that program. Ellen. And what you'll see here is we have attendance for session 1 for each of the mornings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the sessions going across how many attend each session. The thing that I think that you should know about this is that it is basically the same 2 to 3 kids in every single session. It's maybe a total variety of about 5 to 6 students. So that session 1 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning were the same 2 students every single time. So what we're really seeing is that the program is not really well attended by our students. Kids are just not doing their homework at home and bringing it to school as opposed to not understanding the homework. So at this point, my recommendation would be to discontinue the program. It is taking 5 full stipends worth of money allocated to this. If we have parent complaints, we would try to assist individual students as needed and however, whatever way we could. And if it came up that we did have a need for it again, we could always bring it back. But when it's 2 students and here and 1 student there, I don't know about continued support for that.
Are the two pretty consistent?
Yes,
So we don't.
correct.
Makes sense.
Agreed.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, we'll have the 2 on there.
Also, I believe Dr. Cohen forwarded to you the decision by the commissioner regarding our Section 9. We appealed the Section 9 decision regarding the ability to consolidate a modified football team with Warwick. The commissioner's decision came back denied. It was dismissed as a moot point, but I believe Dr. Cohen spoke with our district lawyer today and has a brief update on that.
In my conversation with Larry Barnowski, we talked about another request that's been made of the district this year. A parent of a student who plays lacrosse asked whether or not that student could join the modified lacrosse team at Warwick. And we went through the same process. I advised the parent to contact Section 9. I contacted Section 9, and they were reluctant to move in the direction of allowing a student. We don't have a team, so it's not even a team issue, but they didn't want to go down the path of even allowing an individual student who doesn't have an alternative to join the modified team in Warwick. So I was talking to Mr. Cohen about this, and we realized that the district has already won on the issue of middle school students being able to play on high school teams, on varsity teams. So that issue has been settled, and he was wondering how it would be possible for either district to say no, since a student who plays lacrosse, he would not be asking to play varsity lacrosse. He would just be asking to be on a team. So his advice was that we pursue the individual case, and perhaps that might open things to come back to the issue of the team consolidation. So I think I'm going to have a conversation with the parents of that player and see if they'd be willing to make that request at Section 9. And then the board, if they say no, then the board would be faced with the same decision. Do you want to appeal that? But Mr. Cohen thought we would be in a much stronger position to win that one because of the previous picture.
The only thing I would like to know is how much we've spent so far on this issue from the lawyers.
I will check
There is
that
a
out.
point at which you just can't fight anymore because you're spending money, you're not getting any results. Why would you head against that wall?
You don't know for a couple of years.
And now a lot of people are going to 8-person teams upstate too. I know there are several in Suffolk County are going to 8-people football games rather than a full 11. In order to cut, because they have very tiny moments.
Well, Mr. Finn makes a good point. I mean, it is costing us money.
Spent, what, 3 years you've been in courts doing this and spending money on lawyers? That's a lot of money. I wonder how much it is, actually. I didn't say don't spend any more. I wonder how much we spent so far.
Well, I will find that out, and I would recommend that we support the effort on the part of the parent to,
Absolutely.
and then if it comes to a legal fight, you can decide then whether or not we want to take that.
Yeah, at least both at the same time. Ask them to appeal to Section 9, and in the meantime, give us numbers on the legal
Yes.
things so far. And then, depending on their decision, we'll come back and do all this.
That's what I'll do. Thank you.
The next topic that I know that has been a topic of debate within our community is the cap and gown and the decision last year to move to one color. So we are making the recommendation this evening after reviewing to return to 2 colors, allow those 2 colors to be green and white, and allow each family to choose which color is right for their family. Would that be okay with the board to move forward with that?
Yes.
Okay. High school choice is always a hot topic at this time of year. We do have the numbers in, and I will say that they are changing almost minute by minute in these last couple of days. The numbers as of this afternoon were 44 chose Warwick and 9 chose Chester. That number has now switched, and this 43 have chosen Warwick and 10 have chosen Chester. We still have one that is officially undecided because although he has expressed his wishes, it's not in final form signed by the mayor yet. So we have it under undecided.
And I believe that percentage split is similar to previous years. So the proportions are about the same.
Last but not least, we do have several new staff members on the agenda for you tonight. Lisa Peters has been a teaching assistant for our district for several years now, and we are looking to approve her and move her into an elementary teaching position. That leaves open a teaching assistant position, so we are looking to appoint Melissa Giardina to a teaching assistant position here. Additionally, I believe that we are looking to appoint a director position that will be a new position for Greenwood Lake, so I will turn it over to Sue to talk about that position.
Okay, on our agenda tonight is to appoint a director of curriculum, which is a prior position that was dissolved to make assistant superintendent of curriculum. Part of our transition plan is to hire the director. We're going to spend the next 6 months transitioning our superintendent. So we've opted to have the smoothest transition and have our director of curriculum start sooner allowing Sarah to be able to spend some time getting her up to speed on the district. And then we will have a transition plan for our superintendent to leave and our new superintendent to start, so that on July 1st, everything is smooth and turns right over, and it is a non-issue.
So I do believe that the board is going to elect to pull that item
Yes.
from the agenda, to separate it from the agenda.
Just separate the consent.
Yeah, to remove from the consent agenda for as a separate.
I also want to say that we are going to, for after July 1, dissolve the assistant superintendent of curriculum position. So we are not keeping that. Sarah's position will be dissolved. She's the superintendent, and we'll go back to having just a director.
And with that, in the audience tonight is the person that we are looking to appoint tonight, Lena Polchinski. So welcome to Lena, but if you want to stand.
Okay, so we're done with superintendent reports?
Yes.
That was a lot.
Last we reply.
Yes. The only thing I have is we have to adopt our 1920 vision and goals. We went over these in the budget workshop. We are basically carrying over our vision and goals from last year to this year, so we just have to adopt those as 1920 goals. I don't think there's anything else we have to do to adopt them, right? We all agree? Okay, great. Let's move on. PTSA? No. Village of Greenwood Lake. Let's see, Kathleen had to leave, so she sent me the village update. So Kathleen's village report starts with the 39th annual Greenwood Lake Soccer Club tournament is January 5th and 6th at the Greenwood Lake Middle School. Please come out and support the players. Greenwood Lake Chamber of Commerce presents the Winter Carnival at Thomas Moorhan Town Beach, February 16th and 17th. There will be activities, food, vendors, and entertainment. An announcement, the Greenwood Lake Winter Classic is back for the second year. I believe that's the hockey tournament. The date is January 19th and 20th with makeup dates of February 9th and 10th. They are moving to the back lake right off of Waterstone by Grace Lutheran for this. It will help with securing the ice and avoiding fisherman holes and hopefully reduce some of the weight on the ice. There will be both a competitive and recreational division. If you're interested in playing or being involved, please email greenwoodlakepondhockey@gmail.com. And she would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and hope everyone enjoys their holidays. Thank you, Kathleen, who is at a soccer club meeting. No OUBOC's report. Privilege of the floor. Oh. Don't scare us.
Hi, I'm Tony Ehlers, sailor, we're from Little Buddies, you know us, I'm sure. We just wanted to say thank you to the board for being so open last year with our discussions about the preschool. And since then, we've had Dr. Cohen come in and look at our school and, just meet our children. And because you guys were so open last year, I think it really helped because Sarah got in touch with Karen and I, and we just want to say thank you because we were able to come in, talk to Sarah, go through our curriculum with her. She was able to see the changes that we made since last year, and we kind of just discussed things that we could do to help the Greenwood Lake School District, because we know we went through the lovely math scores in much more detail, and
Great, aren't they?
yeah, they're wonderful. They did show us a bunch of things that we're very happy to see. And because of that, we kind of, Sarah and Karen haven't really decided upon anything, but we want you to know that we're willing to work with this district to any child that doesn't come to Little Buddies now, that maybe you find out about when they take those math tests, that if they need us, we're there. Please direct them to us. We'll work with you. We'll go through whatever needs to be done because our mission is the same as yours. We want the kindergartners to be prepared, and we'll do whatever we can. So we just wanted to say thank you, Sarah, for discussing things, and thank you to all of you because you were so open. Look, we get to talk to the superintendents. Both superintendents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else for movement of the board?
The student council. Student council president for the audience.
No? It says no. Okay. We will move on to our policy readings and... Okay, 7.1, policy 5140, administration of the budget. You've all had an opportunity to look at it, and you need to have a motion. The difference is we lowered the line.
Yeah, you don't need to read it, okay.
It was changed. So can I have a motion to
You have a
approve?
motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? 6-0. Policy 7512 on student physicals. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? TJ? All in favor? 6-0. 7.3, policy 7522, concussion management. Can I have a motion to approve?
You do?
Second? Barbara, all right. All in favor? 6-0.
Must become known, you know.
Trying to make a name for myself.
Oh, long meeting. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the repair of the middle school smoke door locks? please?
Absolutely, I have a motion.
Okay, can I have a second? DJ? All in favor? 6-0. Motion to approve 8.2 ADA improvements.
Motion, we're fully compliant then, right, with the law?
No, we're fully
No,
compliant.
we are already compliant, we are upgrading.
We're just-
We are upgrading. Motion is John, second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? 6-0. 9.1, approve the change of title for Olson.
So moved.
Second for Barbara?
Second it.
All in favor? 5, and I abstain. We are going to pull out the consent agenda item
Article 12.
12.1?
Correct.
Okay. So first, we're going to approve 12.1, a motion to appoint Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Colchinsky.
Motion to make.
Second? Okay, 6-0. Congratulations. And then a motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as specified.
As specified. Second. TJ, all in favor? 6-0. Motion to accept the recommendations for CSE meetings.
So made. Thank you.
Second? Okay, all in favor? 6-0. We don't have executive session for the first time ever. It feels like.
Motion to continue that.
Motion to skip that forever, right? Yeah, I know, I'm looking for the next, so the next meeting will take place Wednesday, January 9th at 7 o'clock at the middle school. And can I close the meeting? I don't believe this. We never close the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to close the meeting, please. At 8:15, 8:17?
Yeah, we have our retreat. Yes.
Oh, yes, we do have a board retreat on the 27th. But let's close this meeting, guys. All in favor?
Who's second?
Ho, ho, ho.
John, did